Howdy guys, welcome back to Cruiserman's Inventions. Today I'm just going to be explaining a little bit about brushless motors and brushless controllers and brushed motors and brush controllers and the difference. Now, I think a subscriber of mine was asking today in the comments about one of my videos, and I had a brushless motor running a brushed motor. A brushless controller running a brushed motor. Now, there are other videos out there you can sharpen up on a lot of wiring diagrams, or you know, the labels and stuff. I don't know if my camera is good enough, but I'll give it a go. So the DC motor has two wires coming out of the back of it, right? The brushless motor has three. One, two, three. Cat just farted in my face, that dirty whore. So this controller here is only 24 volts at 40 amps. This controller here is from 36 right up to 84 volts at 40 to 60 amps. Now, the question was, how did I do it and how did I wire it up? Well, there are, and what some of you said, what's the best what's the best rectifier to use? Okay, so there are all kinds of bridge rectifiers, guys, as you can see. My camera is crap. Look, it's not even picking it up. That's why I never do these videos. But on one side you'll see AC, and on the other side you'll see a plus sign. That plus sign is the DC side. Now diagonally, there's positive, there's negative of the DC side. That's marked. It's not marked. You'll only see two marks. So anyway, AC side's here, the other AC side's here. That's alternating current. That flips backwards and forwards. You can't get that wrong, but you can get the DC side wrong, because that's direct current. You get direct current the wrong way, and you know. Anyway, that's one. Okay, and then you have the ones that come out of a car alternator, which are here, which you see three pins that I put in there, right there. Now those, where they're positioned in the back here and soldered in, is exactly where the three wires from the outside field windings of the alternator, where I chopped it off, right? This is the part that you take out of an alternator when you convert the alternator to run off the brushless motor controller. So this is part of what you need to run your brushless motor controller to a DC motor. It's through one of those. You have three phases on a brushless controller. There's three wires coming out to hook up, like I explained, to a brushless motor. On a DC one, there is only two. Okay, so you're probably thinking, well, okay, three goes in. That's power from the controller into here. Oops. And so where does it come out of? Okay, now this is the tricky part, because it generally has bolts through here, each side, through those holes. Now, here's one that's still here. That'll be the positive side. Now, if this bolt is touching one of these plates are so close, this one and this one over here, they're so close together that they look like they're joined, but they're not. There's little insulation parts along here, so they don't touch. Now, one of the plates is positive, and the other side is negative. So, don't get them wrong. Wherever this one's touching, see, it's insulated from the top one, so it'll be touching the bottom plate. See? It's insulated all the way through there. So, that means that the top one here, if you put a bolt through here and made it, your wires touch off here, will be your negative. That negative would go to your motor here, which is your black wire. The positive's always your red. With, yeah, so that's the way that that would be done, and that's what I did do in that video. That video was so long ago that, yeah, I haven't even got, you know, half the parts to do that video anymore. so far gone that half the parts are going into other things, you know. And these bridge rectifiers I'm explaining were from even other experiments, but they're the same ones I used in the experiment. So, okay, so let's have a look at this alternator for a second, because I want to explain something to you. So this has been reconverted. The bridge rectifier, as I just showed you, has been taken out. There's 3 wires here that are gonna, you know, you can connect that, as some of you were wondering, to the brushless motor controller. And so they come from the outside field windings here. They're the ones I chopped off from here. Here, here, and here. I know this camera is crap. Oh, I hate it. So anyways, the more and more you experiment with these, the more and more you're going to get familiar with them, of course. There's no permanent magnets in the middle of this. This is another 2 wires coming out for DC. They have 2 brushes going to 2 slip rings, and there's another coil of wire in the middle. Under here, just rip this out. Just show you. Look at this. So there's a coil of wire in there. There's also a couple of slip rings down in here that each one of these wires go to. Okay, we can't really see in there that much. But anyway, that's what makes the electromagnetic field in the center. That's DC side. Stop fighting, you stink cat. Oh. And so this is the outside field windings of an alternator. This is about 100 amp one. Oh. You can color them any which way you want. You can flip the wires around to make your motor spin the other way. Okay, we're at 7 minutes. Oh, yeah, I cleaned all that one up. What happens is there's a coil of wire in the middle, just a coil. And as you see these fingers here, what happens when you power that coil of wire up, one end of the coil is north, one end of the other side is south. So that's what gives you your alternating current, because you see now it's now north, south, north, south. See what I mean? North, south, north, south. They're like finger cups that fit. Not touching, but close. So that's how that alternating field works. It's alternating current to the outside, but it's also a DC alternating field that this outside field winding takes to, once that's just powered up by DC battery. This is powered up by AC current. This is where, you know, if you've done your history with Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison, the man he used to work for, these are the motors where those 2 men actually come together. Isn't that amazing? I don't even think magnets were made back then when Tesla was around. He had electromagnets, and that's the same principle there that I use on my bikes. So anyways, guys, let's get to this. So this was a brushless controller I used. Power would go to those 2 wires. These 3 here would go to your motor. But in this case, they went to, remember we're talking about that video. We're trying to run that to this. Brushless motor controller to the DC. So this is where this bridge rectifier comes in. It comes into the 3 field wires like that. There, there, there. And then like I explained, you'd have the 2 bolts coming up through here, and one will be positive, one will be negative. Yeah, even this tab will be positive or negative. But you test that in the polarity of your meter. So, well, you just see which way your motor spun anyway. It'll either spin backwards or forwards. And that was basically it. Now, most of these wires on here are kind of labeled. I don't use any for the hall sensors. There's nothing to do with the hall sensors in anything I do. I don't have any hall sensors whatsoever. So a great chunk of this with the hall sensor plug, sorry about that, with the hall sensor plug just gets left out. That has 2 power wires and 3 other phase wires that go to the other hall sensors that are stuck in the first 3 phases of your e-bike motor and the starting first 3 coils. That's where your hall sensors would be. This just puts stuff in the rotation properly, so when you peel back the throttle, it's already, this thing is already in line. It's like, oh, I'm ready, and then it just, you know, the outside will just, it'll take off. There's a lot that people have got to know about these, but there's also a lot of videos out there that you can also watch. I know a lot of you follow my channel. I just wish my camera was better to pick up this stuff, because, you know, all I'm left with now is, you know, just telling you about, oh, that's cruise control, oh, this is da-da-da. And this camera is just not even good enough. I wonder if I can get up here. Hang on, guys. I wonder if I can ramp it up a bit. Get it under some light. So anyway, all there is really is your gear ones that you got to look out for. The 2 white ones are your learning wires. Those ones. And that just determines your rotation backwards and forwards. There's your 3-speed gear ones, which is just another 3 wires here. And that's your 3-speed. Just hook that up to 3-speed switch. Electric doors. This is one here that you would have to hook into a certain throttle. That had a key. It maybe looked like that. That the wires, you would have to go between the blue one and the yellow one. The other ones would be your throttle wires, and you just color match them. Oh, damn camera. You just color match them back, so that yellow one and the blue one are your switch wires and meter wires. And they go between your door locks here. It says door locks on there. Yeah. Your throttle ones are in here. That's another 3. So you just, here it is. It says throttle. It is written on there. Whoops, sorry. Throttle. That's another 3, and you just color match those to basically the same colors that are back on the throttle. Black, red, and green. So a lot of stuff just gets color matched back to some of this gear, but they are the best controllers to use anyway. You've got a key and a meter, and they're the best ones to use for those. Yeah, there ain't much else to know on there. The rest is just lights and all cruise control and brakes and all sorts of stuff. You don't need all that stuff. You just need your basics. Get this going. Get your 3 going to your motor and your power in. And you switch in between, you know. And then done. And your door locks. And that's about it, guys. So, awesome stuff, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry about this camera. I can't even clean it. I mean, every time I clean it, the whole lens is going off it. That's how stink it is. I just hope that helps somebody out there, guys, a little bit more. Most of those controllers are the same anyway. They have basically the same wires coming out of them. Some of them are harder to read than others because it's in Chinese. So, anyways, guys, thank you heaps. I'll send this now, and I better get on with my other video. Cruising on out, guys. Thanks for watching.